What's good? This is my 6th installment of Poverty Jobs, man. And this one's going to really kind of drive everything home and pretty much put everything in perspective. And what I mean by poverty jobs, if you haven't seen my last few videos, I highly suggest that you go check them out. And it pretty much give a little insight on what I'm talking about. And what I mean by poverty jobs is like you're really dealing with people that's on aid, you're dealing with people that's on government assistance. And I'm not knocking these people, but it is a certain level of execution that community outreach people must, perform. And what I mean by that is just being just on the up and up and having integrity. And I find out in this job, most people don't. You got a really solid handful that are, and I hate to sound like wishy-washy, but it's half and half. You got people that actually do the job and actually do what they're supposed to do, and you got some people that just don't. They just do whatever the hell they want to do. And can pretty much get you in a situation where your information get compromised, and it could pretty much land you in a serious financial situation that you really don't want to be in. And what I mean by that, the last job I was talking about was the health insurance job. And the health insurance job is essentially if you are signing up for work market health insurance. And work market health insurance is essentially like you go online and you pretty much sign up for Meridian or United Healthcare or whatever HMO that's available, right? And sometimes you may not have somebody that can actually remind you of this, so you may have this enrollment specialist out in the field that may kind of push you along or kind of speed the process up. Now, these agents, some are knowledgeable, some are young, and they want to get out there and kind of sign up as many people as you possibly can, right? But the unfortunate thing is some of you people may have an actual policy through your job. Now, keep in mind, if you sign up for health insurance through Meridian, Better, or United Health, you very well can kind of set yourself up for disaster at the end of the tax year, because you got to keep in mind, if you already have a health insurance policy through your job, that's really like messing you up with your taxes. And how that pretty much kind of mess you up is they're going to ask for a form, which is like, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, it's like a 1089 or a 1096. I'm sorry. Leave a comment below, and if I'm saying this wrong, but that essentially is what they're going to call for, and that could probably cost you big. And this is why I'm kind of driving everything home about the poverty job, because you got these office leaders that's actually, they look at it as an opportunity for them to get kickbacks, so you can't get residuals off of being a health insurance enrollee. And keep in mind, everybody got a different plug in this game. Everybody has a different plug in this game, and you may be I'm talking, and this is for the people that run the office. You may be 2 or 3 people away from the real plug, and you may be getting like you may top out at maybe 150, and you probably pay your agents maybe 50 or 35 a sign up, 75 a sign up. Everybody is different, and I know this for a fact. I know the person that tied me in with health insurance, and he told me so himself, and he's definitely plugged in with some high-ranking people. And I know another guy who has a legitimate office that actually heard of the person that he is actually plugged up with, and like his name ring bells. You know, I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm just kind of just putting things in perspective. So now back to the matter at hand. So people that own the office, and this I'm talking to you. I'm talking to y'all. Y'all are responsible for getting these agents out here, you know, and signing these people up correctly. And if these people signing people up and people already have policies, you really screwing people over at the end of the year. And unfortunately, I trusted one of the guys who brought me in to like the phone game on a mock write-up, meaning that the actual application was not supposed to go through, and in all actuality he pushed the application through. And when I called him out on it, he played dumb. And then, like in my other video, I told you that his mentor wasn't like the best. She was shady and she had shady practices. But sometimes when you teach people shady practices, they kind of actually carry those practices on with them. And so, you know, that's just my tuition. I gotta give it to the street tuition, and I had to learn to do better next time. And now I know, and I'm here warning the general public, which is you, the viewer. If you ever in a situation like this, and they talking about want to save you money, don't give them your information, because it can really hurt you in the long run. It can definitely hurt you in the long run, tax wise. And you have to get a 1090, you got to get a 1096, 1089 from the work market. And if you already have something through your job, you know what I'm saying, that's a big conflict. So don't do it. Now, now these office guys, the high ranking people who pretty much control the office, y'all responsible for this stuff. Y'all got these young people, and you got these people that's definitely motivated. You never know. You might got a guy that came from the street element, and he want to take the whole thing by storm and do what he need to do to get his money and get, you know, his life together. And they just gung ho. And some people, when they like that, they just don't really think. They don't ask questions, and they just process. You just got these people that's just processing these orders without no afterthought. And it's sad and it's unfortunate, and y'all screwing people over. And general public, once again, these people are not saving you money. And pause. Essentially, they could. Now, say for instance, you don't got no health insurance, you know what I'm saying, that could definitely save you on doctor bills. You know what I'm saying? I know I've heard instances where people have got signed up for health insurance, and they actually came in clutch when they actually needed it. If they had like a serious like life event, if they got real sick, or you know, if they fell ill or needed some type of surgery, it actually really came in handy. But you know, that's like too far in between. That's almost like if you got car insurance, and it's like, you know, you may not use it, but you know, you have it readily available. But I'm talking to the agents, the general public, and the people that own the offices. Now, general public, y'all gonna get screwed over, so you better start asking questions. If you already have insurance to your job, don't do it. I say it again, do not do it. You will be in a world of hurt at tax season. It took me upwards of 3 years for it to actually catch up with me, because I was kind of like dumb to the fact, and was kind of like, I thought it was just probably like junk mail, and I'm getting stuff from Ambetter and Meridian and then all this. And keep in mind, the guy who brought me into the phone game, he actually did other people that was on our team the same way. And how I know, because I reached out to one of my former teammates, and he was saying, you know, out of sight, mind, not thinking, like he actually was getting the same thing, Meridian and better in his and his mail too. You know, he didn't really think nothing of it. And then when he tried to sign up with a close friend, and apparently the other person actually had like a $700 a month card that he was getting sent out. Correct me if I'm wrong. If y'all know what I'm talking about, leave comments below. And he couldn't actually get signed up because he was already on a work market plan. And that goes to show you that now this is HEPA laws too, that he actually pushed paperwork through, you know, without me knowing and me co-signing on it. And I literally had to learn the hard way. And this guy, he just didn't take no accountability for the whole situation, and it was unfortunate. And I'm thinking about it, and the more and more I think about it, it really makes me upset. And this dude, like, it's just it let's put it like this, man. You know, karma's a mud, because things will come back on you tenfold. And you know, that's just what it is. And you know, you just gotta watch out for people. Now I'm talking to you, the agent. So you, the agent, you responsible for asking questions and actually talking to people, you know, finding out whatever needs they may have, or if they actually have health insurance, or if they like not, if they don't have like a good plan. And your job is to be knowledgeable on what the hell you signing them up for. And you just kind of just pushing orders. You know what I'm saying? You know better than somebody that's like selling like a cell phone service at a strip mall, and trying to, if one person's with T-Mobile, you trying to push them over to like Verizon. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? You playing with people's health and livelihood here. And you gotta really look at it like this, man. If you don't care, then that's just one thing. And if you do care, and this kind of resonates with you, I mean, I need for you to listen, and listen clear. You are screwing people over, like literally and figuratively. You are screwing people out of their taxes. Like you know, they gotta file this stuff, and if they don't know who the hell their coverage is through or whatever, you know, they probably get something through the mail. But that people don't really check their mail like that. People just like just living and living every day, and life is life, and people don't really, you know, they don't look at stuff like that. I didn't, and considering, you know what I'm saying, I already have a policy through my job. And so you as an agent, you responsible for that. And you know, if you just pushing papers and you just pushing orders, man, you know better than like some of these like scammy, like dark web phone people. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's insane. It's insane. And then another thing, some of these phone, not phone, but some of these insurance people, they come from different markets, because for the simple fact that wherever their market was, whether it's Colorado or California, Texas, and or Florida, people come from other markets. People come from Atlanta to Michigan, and vice versa. And people go from Detroit to Atlanta because, you know, like anything, if people get wind of it and people start building these teams and they aggressively go out and sign people up. And I think health insurance enrollment was around about, I want to say maybe in September through like maybe like November or whatever. And that's usually the time frame where you actually see these teams like hitting your cities and actually, you know, just signing people up. But once again, y'all got to do your due diligence and just ask questions, and don't fall for the okie doke. and just be committing to something. Or, you know, most times when these agents are asking for your information, you know, it's almost like a sales tactic. They almost want to take control of the sale or the person or the situation. And that sale, that person, or that event is you. It's you. They're gonna ask you questions, and they're gonna be like, okay, all right, we can get you started. I want to give you this tablet, this phone. I want you to what's your income? You know what I'm saying? What's the last four of your social? And once they start inputting information inside that device, it's pretty much game over until you actually confirm. And then keep in mind, uh, I've been signed up, unbeknownst to me, I was signed up with this particular policy since 2023, and it was actually July of 2023, and that was in and around about the time I met my quote unquote mentor with the phone situation. And it just kind of just made me want to jump on here and like talk about it, because once I talked to one of my other friends that was with me on the phone situation, he told me pretty much the same thing happened. And if y'all in the Metro Detroit area, and y'all, if I work with y'all on a particular team, it could be a chance that all of y'all probably got signed up for health insurance with y'all not even knowing. And it's unfortunate. And this particular guy, it's just slime. That's a slime ball. That's some slime ball type stuff, bro. And anybody who's in the metro area and y'all thinking about if y'all thinking about doing the job, yes, the job, it could be lucrative. I definitely say it's a poverty job, because, you know, it may take a long time for you to get paid, you know, depending on like if those orders go through, and if those people, you know, sign up, you know, depending on how long it takes to process it. And that's just what it is. And I find out the reason why they recruit a lot of people that have like felonies and whatever is because essentially, for one, unfortunately, you may be, if you correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm saying it wrong, you could potentially could be a liability. Two, they want, if you were to get a license or got like legit, you know, they pretty much keeping your residuals, because you pretty much are like just a 1099 worker out there, like pushing paper and pushing orders pretty much. And that's just what it is. So this is Poverty Jobs part 6. And, you know, I'm gonna stop harping on just like negativity. I'm gonna try to push more positivity. But man, people gotta know. And y'all need to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all need to like share this video, and y'all need to like really look at my other videos. I'm gonna try to do like a playlist, so y'all kind of see what the hell I'm talking about. You know, just it's a really important information that I'm giving to y'all. I'm giving y'all like stuff that's definitely gonna help y'all like financially. It's because it is gonna save you a lot of heartache with actually not having to scramble around and get these 1099s and whatever, and come to find out you know got signed up for a policy, or it could potentially ruin your coverage if you go, especially ladies, if y'all do go to a particular OBGYN, or if you go with a particular doctor, or if your kids are go to a particular pediatrician or whatever, all this stuff can potentially ruin that, because they might put you under the policy that might be well out that coverage area. And you know, and I'm like I said, I'm speaking to three people. I'm speaking to you first, the people that's at the office, the office owner. I'm speaking to you, the agent, that man or woman or person, you know. And like y'all gotta really like keep in mind, y'all playing with people's livelihood. And you know it, even if you're not from that market, you kind of leave a you done left your imprint on somebody's life, where you kind of made things kind of hard for them if you just out here just pushing sign-ups. And yeah, and that's just what it is. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate you hearing what I got to say. Man, like, comment, subscribe. I need y'all to like really run this one up. I need y'all to like spread the word about this, like, health insurance fraud. It's fraud. It's essentially fraud. If you just signing people up for stuff that they don't even know they actually being signed up for. It's fraud, and it's messed up. And y'all people need to stop it, for real. But like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.